In today's video, we are going to be looking at the weather of today and tomorrow, maybe even the day after, because there are going to be some storms throughout these next couple of days, as seen by this map here. So starting off the day, we are going to be looking at this not marginal, enhanced risk here in Kansas into Nebraska and Missouri area. Um, uh, so watch out for that. We're going to be seeing storms pop up there most likely tonight or in the later evening. We also see this slight risk that is shaped almost like a tooth or an Among Us character, but that's besides the point. We can see that it crosses areas into areas into Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Arkansas with large risks or general and marginal risks throughout the country, all throughout the country today. Starting tomorrow, we can see a enhanced risk near the Ohio Valley, in Illinois, Missouri, parts of Tennessee, and Tennessee, Kentucky, and Arkansas, with parts of Iowa, Wisconsin, and Indiana. Sorry, I'm very new to this weather thing, so don't take everything I say with a grain of salt unless it comes to the tornado stuff, because just go off what you're seeing off the map, because me talking probably doesn't help much. So sorry to say that, but it's true. Also, look at this weird thing over here. But let me get professional here. I don't know much about weather. Well, I know a little bit, but we see a slight risk here, a large slight risk around the upper Mississippi Valley or upper Mississippi River Valley and parts of the Midwest into Tennessee, even parts of Mississippi. And we can see marginal and general risks all throughout the country as well that are for tomorrow. Now for Tuesday, we can see there are no enhanced risks, but there is a slight risk here in the lower Mississippi Valley, Tennessee Valley, and just in all the way into from Texas into Louisville. Is it Louisville? I think it is. Is it Louisville? Never mind, my phone's dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright, well, that's nice. Well, my phone being dead is quote unquote nice. But we can see that there are large risks, or there are risks spanning from all the way down to from Mexico to Canada. So yeah, that's pretty nice, I guess. Or not actually nice, but I mean, you know what I mean. We can see the tornado risk for today is in just the general plains area, tornado alley area, with a 10% tornado risk here in Kansas, with a tornado conditional intensity group 1 risk, meaning large and violent tornadoes possible, up minimum of with EF2 plus tornadoes possible. And we can see that conditional risk spans all the way down into Oklahoma and Texas as well, into some parts of Nebraska. We can also see a 2% tornado risk in parts of Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, um, uh, Colorado, Texas, and that's it. I don't know why I was panicking there. can also see a 5% risk in parts of Nebraska and Oklahoma as well as Kansas. So today's main focal point in tornado risks and just any severe storm risks is mainly in Kansas. Now on to tomorrow, we could see a large risk in the just generally the Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley, across the Midwest. Um, we see a 10% tornado risk with a condition uh conditional intensity group 2 risk, meaning EF3 plus tornadoes are likely. With it covering mostly Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, and Indiana, with some parts of Wisconsin. So stay safe if you're in those areas. We also see a 5% tornado risk that goes all the way up into Wisconsin, all the way up into Wisconsin and down to Mississippi. Getting parts of Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, even parts of Minnesota. I think there's a little bit of Minnesota in there. Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, parts of a little bit of Michigan, Kentucky, and Alabama, Mississippi. I think I said every single one. I think I mentioned Tennessee. And we could also see a 2% tornado risk here in those general same areas. So generally same areas. That was a terrible circle as well. I feel very unserious to be talking about this, but there are extremely intense tornadoes possible for tomorrow, so be prepared with anything you need to be prepared with, like if you need extra batteries, if you need power banks, if you need charge up all your devices for tomorrow evening if you live, or just tomorrow in general, if you live in this area of the US. The hail outlook for today around the same around the same areas as the tornado outlook, except it also gets parts of Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas, which I mean there was parts of Arkansas before, but parts that it didn't get before is that's South Dakota. South Dakota. So, but tomorrow we see that the hail intensity shifts northeast into the Midwest, upper Mississippi River Valley, containing parts of Illinois, containing parts of northern Wisconsin, uh, southeast Minnesota, all the way down into the southern Arkansas and Oklahoma. And that's the hail outlook. So the wind outlook is again in the generally in the same area with around the same shapes of what we've been seeing, the same tooth shape right here. With the main risks being in Missouri, Nebraska, and Kansas for high winds, with a 30% wind risk. But tomorrow we can see that it all shifts basically into the Midwest again, with it getting parts of the upper Mississippi River Valley. So the thunderstorms seem to be scattered this morning, with some being on the East Coast, some being in the Rocky Mountain Ranges areas and the Great Plains, with down here in the lower Mississippi River Valley. They do increasingly get larger throughout the day, with through the through the noon and afternoon hours, from 11 to 3, 11 to 3 o'clock, being more scattered thunderstorms throughout the U.S., with some even being up here in Washington and Montana and Idaho. we can see a lot of thunderstorms happening, or a 40% chance of thunderstorms happening in um, Colorado and Utah area over there at the Four Corners, and here in the deep south near Florida, Mississippi, throughout all the East Coast down there, and the Midwest. Moving on from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock, we could see that they start to increasingly stretch across the Great Plains, across the Rockies, all the way over to California and parts of Texas, all being part of the same type of risk area. And down here, still in the deep south, near Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas, South Carolina, and North Carolina. And that's all we could see for thunderstorms. Now, our main focus is down here in this storm right here, with these two storms right here, with them growing increasingly large throughout the day, as seen here, before fading out into the ocean, into the Gulf like most storms. But over here, as you saw before, around this area right here, we see large supercells begin to pop up in this general area as well, across all of the Great Plains into the um, Midwest. And this is up until 10 o'clock tonight in the late evening hours. So, yeah, just be on lookout for isolated thunderstorms this afternoon. Now that will be it for today's video. If I might do more of these videos in at a later date. Maybe tomorrow if I'm up. But tomorrow I have school, so I can't really do much with that. So, yeah, future meteorologist right here. I'm learning as the days go. I just learned that the Mississippi River Valley has an upper and a lower. So, I just learned where the Mississippi River Valley was. So, it's nice. Um, but yeah, then again, stay safe out there. Be prepared as always, and keep your families and friends informed of severe weather that may happen in your area. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. God bless.